Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver
Good morning,
now.
Bix Weir, roadrunner.com. I do have some chaga coffee this morning. Cheers to everybody. I haven't been doing the chaga coffee. I've been taking chaga pills. Definitely keep up with your chaga, your C60, all your supplements that you need to fight off. I hear they're putting these jab things in meat now after it's been inspected. There's so much going on, it's hard to keep up. But let's not talk about that. I posted an interview on the public road at Road to Root. Go to roadrunner.com. It's a chat with Sean at SGT Report, and we're talking about the death of Mr. Rothschild and what that means, and a lot about silver and cryptos and where we're headed. Love talking to Sean. He was the first main guy on YouTube, the first guy on YouTube to interview me back in 2010, before I had the YouTube channel. I had just started the Road to Ruta website, and I was writing articles almost daily. And then we switched to YouTube a few years back. But go check that out. Really interesting discussion. It's called Straight to Hell. And it might sound a little harsh to people, but it is not even close to what this guy deserves and his family, what these banking criminals have done to humanity. If there is a hell, that's where these people belong. Yeah. Anyway, go check that out. Also, massive moves in Theta. It's up around $2. Why? Well, number one, it is the future of the internet. If you like looking at the internet, you're going to love Theta in the future. Theta invented a way to share broadband. That's basically it. It's a content delivery network. It's a way to share broadband without building 50 million 5G towers all over the planet. And you're just sharing your extra broadband. You earn tokens, but that's not all. That was the beginnings of Theta, and it is completely different now. It still is doing that. It still can do that. As a matter of fact, I went on to, we have a Theta page on the private road at Road to Ruta. I did this presentation in November of 2020 on all the things at the time I thought Theta was going to be able to do. And let me just give you a couple lists here of some of the things that I thought were very important. One, everything's moving to the World Wide Web. It changed everything. In 1990, when the World Wide Web was implemented, the world changed, and now everything has been going on there. And you're watching this because of the World Wide Web. And here's the list of things. All human work processes are moving to the web. All human merchandise purchasing is moving to the web. All human food purchasing is moving to the web. All human news and entertainment is moving to the web. All human banking processes are moving to the web. And all human learning processes are moving to the web. And that bottom one is very important. One of the big problems that the left screams about is equal access to people. You know, the minorities and certain underprivileged groups don't have the same access to information and the things that go on that the rich do. And that's pretty much true, or it was in the past. Now with the web, you can learn anything you want. There is no more excuses. So, and that's an important part of what the future is. Not necessarily like everybody gets to share everything, because certain people deserve more and certain people deserve less. If you're going to sit on your ass and do nothing, you deserve less. If you're going to work your ass off and make something of yourself and better your race, the human race, you deserve more. That's the way it should work. Socialism has never worked. It's killed more people than any other, even more than religion, believe it or not. So yeah, I do believe in equal access to learning. Everybody should have equal access, but not equal pay, equal anything. You should get paid for what you do, not who you are or where you are or what color your skin is. And a big part of that is equal access to learning. That is coming. That is the future. So if we're making a better future, Theta is a huge part of that. Now, this is a list of things back in 2000. This is, a little over 3 years ago. Decentralized technology powered by an economic incentive program. That's what Theta is. And at the time, Theta was trading around, 20, 30 cents, maybe a buck. It went up to $15 and then got slammed back down to 50 cents, and now it's up again to $2. Why am I a hodler? Why do I keep holding on? Because of all the things it can do back then, and now it's completely different, believe it or not. So back then, it was a decentralized solution to the bandwidth capacity problem. It's a massive problem for every country on the planet. The amount of bandwidth available to people. With everything moving online, you need massive amounts of bandwidth. So this shares bandwidth instead of 5G towers on every corner. Number 2, works hand in hand with the current infrastructure. The content delivery network is seamless with the current content delivery network run by Google and Amazon and all those companies. It's a no-cost, economically incentivized to share your broadband for no cost. You get paid in Theta fuel tokens to share your broadband. And you can download a Theta Edge node right now and run it behind the scenes on your computer. Go to thetatoken.com. Okay, it solves the inclusive problem for underprivileged in the future. I think this is huge. Everybody has to have access to the ability to learn. Not everybody doesn't get the same rewards, but everybody should have access to the ability to learn and to grow and to move forward. And the decentralized computing absolutely helps develop that concept. Smart contract functionality with cheap transactions. Yes, Theta can do exactly what Ethereum does. Exactly. Except faster and cheaper. But from the very beginning, Theta said, no, we're not trying to replace Ethereum. They could, though. Absolutely, they could. They're using their smart contracts for different things, such as cloud computing and cloud storage, which wasn't even talked about back then in 2000. No ICO problems with the SEC. Theta never ICO'd. They started to, they were about to, but then they pulled the plug. Brilliant move. So that takes away one of the SEC's moves, that criminal organization, the SEC, to attack Theta and the Theta token holders. Mainly, it hurts the token holders. The SEC wants to hurt the people and then wants to keep people out of certain cryptos until their people can get in, which is the JP Morgans of the world, the BlackRocks of the world. Number 7, limited supply with staking and global demand increases. Staking is massive in both Theta and Theta Fuel, and T-Drop for that matter. You should if you're on the road to it, you probably have some Theta and you're probably staking it, most likely. On the private road, we teach you how to do that. Buy it, store it, and stake it. Unlimited amount of use cases when fully implemented. I did not know how big that statement was in 2020. Unlimited amount of use cases when fully implemented. That is absolutely true. And we have seen it over the last 4 years, 3.5 years, that Theta is building this thing out with the partners, Google, Samsung, Sony. Any one of those companies could buy up all the Theta or attempt to. And there's a lot of rigging that goes on in cryptocurrencies, don't get me wrong. But those companies are smart enough to know you can get your coins in your own possession only. And then it's still a very unknown crypto. It's still very unknown with crypto, and especially high-tech investors. Crypto people are starting to learn what Theta is. They don't really know it because it's not on Coinbase. But high-tech investors have no idea how big Theta is going to be. And they're all into AI right now, and AI won't work without Theta. You need the kind of broadband expansion. You need the decentralized computing, edge storage. It's like having a little computer all throughout the world on every edge node. There's 10,000 edge nodes. As soon as Samsung and Sony or any of these companies download edge nodes on the smart TVs and computers around the world, there'll be millions, maybe even billions of edge nodes. Can you just imagine expanding broadband like that instantly with it's a software download? So people are saying, oh, my God, Bix, you got to sell. I'm not selling. I'm not selling until it's fully implemented, which could be another 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. I'll probably pass all that data down to my kids. Why? Because I see what's happening. So anyway, the reason for the latest jump up is this. Theta Edge Cloud ushers in a new era of AI computing. Artificial intelligence cannot happen. NVIDIA, that stock that's gone to $2 trillion market cap, cannot happen without edge computing and edge storage. And that's what Theta's doing. I'm surprised they haven't announced a little partnership with them. Anyway, here's what Theta had to say. Theta Labs had to say, the Theta engineering team has been heads down for the greater part of this past year developing Theta Edge Cloud, one of the most advanced decentralized software platforms in edge computing. Its mission is to provide developers, researchers, and enterprises, large and small, with unlimited access to GPU processing power for AI or video tasks at most optimal cost. This approach brings the best of cloud computing to a decentralized system powered by the Theta Edge network. This blog shares a sneak peek of the upcoming Edge Cloud Phase 1 estimated to launch May 1st, 2024. So that's what? March 8th. That's 2 months away. The foundation supporting Edge Cloud's AI computing infrastructure has been developed for many years. Number 1. The Theta Edge network launched in 2021 with mainnet 3.0 focused on GPU-intensive video processing required for encoding, transcoding, and distribution. Today, Theta's global network of nearly 10,000 active edge nodes run by community members comprises one of the largest clusters of distributed GPU computing power in the world. High-performance GPUs deliver 36,392 T-flops. Medium-tier GPUs deliver 28,145 T-flops, and low-end GPUs deliver an additional 13,000 T-flops for approximately 77,538 T-flops, or about 80 petaflops. This is, I mean, the insanity of how big this is. It's roughly equivalent to 250 NVIDIA 8 A100s always available. And NVIDIA, literally, that company has gone from like hardly anything to $2 trillion market cap. I think it's the third or fourth largest company in the world now. The vast processing power, along with Theta's access to additional 800 petaflops through our strategic cloud partners, that's Google, by the way, can deliver upwards of 2,500 equivalent NVIDIA A100s, enough to train and serve some of the largest language models. Some of the largest language models, LLMs. Gen AI text-to-image, text-to-video models such as Stable Diffusion, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff, this is what NVIDIA does, and they can't do it without something like Theta. Edge computing, edge storage. You use the entire internet is your computer. The entire internet is your storage using shards, little bits on each processor. Access to distributing GPU power in itself is not sufficient to transform the AI computing landscape. In 2021, Theta first filed its patent edge computing platform supported by smart contracts enabled blockchain network. This set in motion the capability to build a next-generation hybrid computing structure where computation tasks are registered on the blockchain, assigned to an edge computing node within a decentralized computing network through a secure peer-to-peer connection. Further, the solution may be verified on-chain by a smart contract, and a token reward may be given to the participating node. The patent was granted in September 2023, while Theta core engineering team was already building the core foundation of Edge Cloud. This is what Theta is. It's a software, and a software system that is changing the world. The only investors in cryptos are mainly insiders and kids. And people going, mostly kids. It's just mostly kids. And now the kids are saying, well, can I get it on Coinbase? No, you can't. They have a link to get it through a different mechanism, a decentralized mechanism, supposedly, and supposedly some people have done it. There you go. Why you would go to, I don't know. Go to simpleswap.io, simpleswap.io, or go to Road to Ruta, join the private road, and we can walk you through it. Lastly, the Theta team has always believed in building technology to solve immediate customer and market needs. As early as 2022, Theta began working with a number of AI partners and experts in natural language processing and machine learning. This led to collaboration with NVIDIA AI, FedML, and most recently, Google Cloud, developing an AI model pipeline for video-to-text applications. With applications in semantic video search, esports, game highlights, video generation, many other AI applications, the Theta team is thrilled to share a sneak peek into Edge Cloud's first release this spring. In the screenshots below, AI developers can easily select and deploy popular models such as Stable Diffusion, blah, 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 all the technical stuff. We're excited to share updates along the way as we push towards phase 1 release of Edge Cloud. Join us on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Theta is doing exactly what they said they were going to do, and it is massive. It will be, I believe it will be the number one crypto, at least in the top 2 or 3. Far more useful than Ethereum, for example, because they can do everything Ethereum does. It's using the same Ethereum language. That's why there's that big mix-up between Ethereum wallets and Theta wallets. They're both the same. And people start getting screwed up. You can send an Ethereum token to a Theta wallet, but it's the same wallet. It's using the same language. Theta can do exactly what Ethereum does. They're just choosing not to. I mean, there's nothing stopping Reggie Middleton from taking his invention of Veritasium and moving it over to the Theta blockchain. Now, there are things that Theta does that is in violation of Reggie's patent. And that will have to be worked out. 99% of the cryptos are in violation of Reggie's patent. So you need some Veritasium as well. But if you want to know why Theta is going up, that's the reason. It was this announcement. We all knew it, but there's so much more than what they're saying. And the biggest thing is that at some point this will happen. It was talked about in the early days of Theta. That the Theta Edge Node is a software revolution. It is a downloadable program that you can run behind the scenes of your computer to share your broadband and do all these other things that is going on with Theta and earn T-Fuel. In the remote viewings we did of it, Hitomi did the future forecasting guys, crypto viewing at the time. Hitomi did an amazing remote viewing where she even named the token, going off nothing, literally a number. She even named the token. But one of the big things she said is that people will start using Theta or T-Fuel as universal basic income, meaning everybody on the planet will have access to Theta. And back then, it's like, well, how could that even be possible? And I'm like, well, wait a minute. How many people have smart TVs on the planet? There are billions. And if Theta Edge Node is a software, what's stopping Samsung or Sony from downloading, doing a software update, downloading a Theta Node onto every smart TV? Or Apple onto every computer, or you name it, any computer on the planet with enough juice to run and it doesn't take much. All the computers today can run it. That's how universal basic income will come into play. If you're ever wondering, how can they do that? It's just printing more fiat money. Well, if the banking system collapses, which we know it is, this could be, that's what I'm saying. You got to have Theta. You got to have Theta. And T-Fuel. Right now, I think Theta's running up like 70% in a week. T-Fuel hasn't caught up, so maybe jump back and forth. You got to pay taxes, supposedly, on any gains or losses. So, there you go. There you have it. Silver's getting slammed again. Again, nothing new. Silver's the most important thing to control for the criminals in the White House. the criminals on Wall Street, the criminals at the BIS, all around the planet. Silver is the anti-fiat money. No, it's not Bitcoin. It is silver. They want Bitcoin to do well so they can control it. Silver, they don't want to do well. 99% of the population does not want silver to be $1,000 an ounce. Why? Because their cell phones will be, an extra $500. Their flat screen TVs will no longer cost $300. It'll cost $1,300. Their solar panels will just stop. Just stop. And I'll get to solar in a second. But speaking of stopping, the U.S. Mint has stopped. Shockingly, after we had to scream at them to get going again, they basically stopped producing Silver Eagles in February. They've got 2 more days. If I know the Mint, which I kind of do, they'll probably at the last day they'll add some into this. But right now they're at 850,000 coins when they can make 4 or 5 million. Now's the time to contact the Mint and say, what the hell are you people doing? That's what we had to do last time. They did 950,000 for 4 months in a row, not telling anybody. And then that turned the Silver Eagle program into the number 2 national silver coinage program behind the Canadian Maple Leaf. And then they started to come back, and all of a sudden it fell apart. Why? Because there's no silver. The world is running out of silver. The COMEX is running out of silver. And where's all that silver going? Germany just announced that they put in 1.25 gigawatts in January, which is a 60% increase from the January before. This is not stopping. The solar push is not stopping. This is going on around the world. This is massive amounts of silver, and there is no silver thrifting. Do not let people like criminals at the Silver Institute talk you out of this. The Silver Institute runs cover for the criminals that rig the silver market. They are no advocate. I was just going through some of their bullshit. Look at this. This was just put out at the end of January. Global silver demand is expected to rise 1%, pushed higher by continued strength of industrial uses. 1%. That is so beyond criminally wrong. It is just shocking how these people get away with this stuff. Just the solar part of it will jump at 15%. Just the solar part. Because solar's, again, this year. Last year it was 70%. It was up 70%. And there was no silver thrifting. How do I know that? Because nobody is thrifting silver out. Name me one solar panel of the popular solar panels that are thrifting out silver. It's exactly the opposite. Everybody's moving to TopCon, which uses about 30% more silver. And then the next jump up is 100% more silver of the new solar panels. Because it doesn't matter how much silver you use, it's not going to change the price because the market's rigged. So all the solar manufacturers are just sucking up all the silver they can at these cheap prices. That's why you see all the silver going out of the ETFs, all the silver going out of the London warehouse, all the silver going out of the COMEX warehouses. And yet the price stays the same because the CFTC, the regulator, is in on the game. And if you want to know how sick these people are at the Silver Institute, let's just look at the number one thing that everybody quotes, the annual silver survey. Look at this. So this is from last year. This is the annual silver survey. They said photovoltaics will go from 140 million ounces to 161. Granted, this was April of last year. So their forecast was off for 2023. They haven't gone up 15%, right? It was off by 60%. 60% too low. And these numbers are rigged. Look at the total. For example, 2021. For total industrial, they have 528 million ounces, right? 2021. Look at last year's. 2021, 508. What? 2021, 524. It's like they changed the historical numbers so that it doesn't look so bad. And it's always 100% of the time to the detriment of silver investors. So that's why they're saying, hey, we're just going to have a 1% growth in silver demand. I mean, the Silver Institute is supposed to be advocating for silver, and yet they're adjusting the numbers so it doesn't look as dramatic as it really is. It's insane. And you go to the Silver Institute's publications, and this one more than pisses me off. Their December, they haven't come up with a new one. They're supposed to do these articles every couple of months, but they haven't done one since September. But look what they have. They have demand at 8%. And they didn't even bother to split out solar because they know they have a gigantic problem. And they told me, the Metals Focus, where they get these numbers, told me that the number for 2023 is going to be 180, and I should be excited about that. No, it's 350. It's double what they're going to say. But look what they have for 2023, 632. That should be more 800 or 900 million ounces. Hey, they can say whatever they want, right? They can justify it however they want. The reality is, the longer they do this, the longer they keep the price of silver at bay, the more silver is going to be sucked into solar and be gone for 25 to 30 years. That's how long a solar panel lasts. 25 to 30 years, probably longer, and it would have to go to $500-600 for it to be monetarily advantageous to recycle it out of there. I mean, these are little tiny strips of silver paste that go on these new solar panels, the TopCon panels. And no, it is not being thrifted out. That is the biggest lie. That's where the problem is. These people lie. There's no reason to thrift out silver because you're going to lose efficiency in a solar panel. So they don't. They just say they do. And nobody has called them on this. Except Road to Ruta, of course. And now people are starting to look at the numbers and say, hey, Silver Institute, your numbers don't even match themselves. This is a crime in progress. So no, the price of silver should not be $22.48. It should probably $2,248 in a freely traded market. And we're going to get there. I don't think you'll ever see it on the COMEX, that criminal exchange. They're going to have to shut down because there's something else coming this year. I talk about that with Sean at SGT Report. Go check that out. I'm talking to David X22. We're going to talk about what happens after the crash. And I have my version of what I've studied and what I've seen from the Fed and the powers that be, my understanding of how this is going. It's not going to XRP. It's not going to a NESRA or JESRA. There can be no deciders in this. We have to go back to our Constitution, and there's very specific things that have to happen, and they will happen because it doesn't take any deciders. That's what I got for you. Go to roadtoruta.com. Right now, at least for right now, we're giving away the Theta family of tokens. This will not last much longer. With every private road subscription, we give away 10 Theta, 100 Theta fuel, and 1,000 T-drop loaded on a paper wallet. I think this specific paper wallet is going to be worth a hell of a lot of money as the old system dies and the new system is implemented. So go to roadtoruta.com, sign up for the private road, and let's get moving. I'll talk to you later.